Hello, hello. Hi, Cheryl. I just heavy sighed and didn't realize I had heavy sighed out loud. That's weird. Hi, Barbs. Hello, hello.
Hey.
Hello.
How's it going?
Good, how are you?
I'm good.
Everybody, this is Charlotte.
Hi.
Hi, Nicole.
Hello, hello.
Hey, Nicole.
Hi.
Ugh.
And we're waiting for one more. She's not here yet.
I thought I saw her in here.
Okay, there she is.
Yeah. Hi, hi.
Your hair looks cute, everybody.
Oh, thanks. 185. We got a lot of people here.
Wow.
Oh. Hey, Linds.
Hey.
Everybody looks
Linds.
Hi.
Hey, Jenny Mac.
So we are here. I'm just going to jump right in.
Yeah, go for it.
Because there's a lot.
Yes.
We all know why we're here.
I actually have notes. I never that's my son ripping the page, but I have notes.
Same.
Usually it's on my computer, but I didn't feel like lugging it upstairs today.
Yeah. We are
Hey,
here
Cheryl.
to talk about episode 601.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
Hi, Aaron.
Hi, Aaron.
Check out this crew.
First off, Instagram has a way of knowing that I'm on live, and they like to log me out when I'm live. So if that happens, just know that I will come back. It might take a minute, 2 minutes at the most, but I'll come back.
Got it.
I've got my login password memorized because it happens so much.
How many times it's happened?
Oh my gosh, it's ridiculous.
There are 217 people here.
Wow.
Woohoo.
They must all want to really know our
Slanche,
thoughts
guys.
on
Yeah.
Everybody's ready to talk about 601, man.
Yeah.
So yeah, I'm drinking beer tonight. I had tequila with dinner after Sam's live. I was like, I need to try some. Hi from Rhode Island. I'm in Rhode Island. Hi.
Oh, hey. Small world.
I'm
Hey,
drinking a beer and Sassenach.
No.
Double fisting it tonight.
Water.
Nice.
Linds is
You
like,
could just
and I have
Living
pump
for
it
you
up.
guys. I was going to make myself like lemonade or just like a drink that wasn't water. And then I was like, why go through the effort?
yeah.
It's just so much easier to just drink water.
It is.
All right.
But it's funner to drink whiskey.
So it is funner to drink whiskey. So let's talk about the episode.
Yeah.
Where do we want to start?
Yeah, where do we start? That's the question.
I mean, do you want to
let's start from the beginning.
go like character to character and what happened to each one, or do you want to go in order of the events of the episode?
I don't know. Let's talk. Let me just go down my notes and we'll
Okay.
Okay.
Yeah.
First off, I want to talk about the voiceover at the beginning. Some of that was from book 5.
Mm-hmm.
And then some of it was from the ending prologue of book 6. I don't know if anybody noticed that.
Yeah.
I actually had to defer to Natalie to
I asked Natalie.
So I don't know. I thought that was kind of weird and cool at the same time.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, I like when they include, the prologues because we don't get her voiceovers as much as we used to.
Yeah, and I think book 5's book 5's prologue that was actually Jamie talking.
Mm-hmm.
I don't remember. Honestly,
And then
I don't remember that.
at the end of this episode, we'll get to that later, but I just wanted to mention it. The prologue that she reads, most of that is from
Drums.
book 4.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
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 Anyway,
doing like live research during our.
Yeah. I got a lot of questions. I think we all got a lot of questions. Where was Murtaugh?
Yeah, I have it in my notes. Where's Murta?
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, I don't know. Do you think it was just scheduling, or I don't know? I mean,
I kind of have a theory about that.
Yeah.
Ooh.
My theory is because we know that Jamie has just gotten there to Ardsmuir. He hasn't been there very long because even the governor even mentions how he hasn't been there very long.
Right.
And you can tell he's kind of still in that cave-like state.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
Good point. Good point. I didn't think about that.
I feel like because Jamie and Tom are kind of in these scenes kind of pitted against each other, for lack of a better word,
Yeah.
that if Murtaugh was there, that he'd kind of be on the sidelines with Jamie, and then it would be like a 2 against 1 type of thing, because Murtaugh's not gonna Murtaugh's gonna stand by Jamie. He's not really gonna be like where the other men are all fighting and whatever.
Yeah.
So I'm thinking that they had to not put Murtaugh in for those reasons.
Yeah.
And wasn't he sick? Wasn't he sick when he was in the prison?
Well, I mean, he was.
When Lord John was there, yeah.
And Lord John was there, yeah.
Which was way later, yeah.
I don't remember how long that governor is there.
Right.
Before Lord John comes. So I mean, maybe Murtaugh was hiding out somewhere too, because we know that he wasn't in season 3, he wasn't in that barn thing, whatever, with everybody else. So who knows we don't know what happened to Murtaugh. But at some point he gets to Ardsmuir, we just don't know when. And I thought it was
right.
Well, we'll get to that later. But anyway, so yeah, so that's my theory on Murtaugh.
Yeah, I mean, I think
not a great theory,
but I also think Jamie, what happened with the fighting and him becoming, a Mason and all of that gave him purpose. And like you said, if Murtaugh was there, they could have just said, like, you know what, we're staying out of it. They need to figure it out. Like, he wouldn't have necessarily felt the need to step in and take up this leadership position.
Yeah.
It helped like bring him out of his solitude. And yeah, I think what you said makes a lot of sense. It just felt weird that he wasn't there, because I always assumed that Murtaugh was probably already, like you said, he wasn't in that barn scene when they were executing everybody. Yeah. So does that mean that he got away and then was captured later? He must have.
He could have gotten captured later, just like Jamie did.
Right.
Yeah.
I see people asking about why Jamie wasn't in chains. That's a good question, because he was from the beginning. Wasn't it Lord John that released him from his chains?
Yeah,
he was
to interpret.
He was in the chains when he was in the governor's room, whatever. I think it was only when he was out working and whatever that he wasn't.
Because nobody wasn't outside for sure.
Yeah.
Yeah, I think it was only when he was outside that he wasn't in the chains. But I'm pretty sure he was in the chains when he was inside. God, I gotta watch it again now to see. I know he was when he was in the governor's chambers, but now, but I'm not. I can't remember when he was in the cell or not. I feel like he was.
He was, because he was struggling to walk when he would try to get up, and he was, he had his chains.
Yeah.
And when they were out, I can't remember now, back to season 3. I know when they were out in like the yard area that he was in the chains still, but I don't remember at the points when they
were like outside the prison.
Yeah.
We only really ever saw him outside the prison the time that he like went to find after Duncan Kerr came, when he like ran away and they staged the escape. We didn't really ever see him outside of the prison grounds before that, did we? I don't think so.
No, this was the only time.
Yeah, we might not have.
All right, I'm gonna leave and come back because my comment stopped and my screen keeps going dim. Like my.
Oh,
love that.
Fun.
Okay. Then I was slightly confused about the rabbits, because is Tom Christie? I mean, is he allowed to hunt? Because I know that in season 3 that comes up with Lord John. Jamie asks him, that his men be allowed to hunt. So I was just a little bit confused by that. And although I feel like Tom's kind of getting special treatment, you see him shaking hands with the guards and stuff outside, and then with the governor and whatever. So I don't know.
Yeah. Yeah, I was confused about that. All of a sudden, he just comes in with these 3 rabbits or whatever, and he's like, "Hey guys, we got some food, but let's pray first," or blah blah blah. And then all of a sudden, it was like, "How the hell did you get those rabbits?"
Joan says she
And
thinks
there
the
was,
flashback was a little sloppy. I mean, there was a lot of information in that.
That was a lot to pack in, and to
Yeah.
be able to bring back as much as they did and try to get as many details right, I think they did well. I mean, we're used to Outlander getting many of the details right. So I feel like maybe looking at it that way, it could seem a little sloppy, but overall I liked it.
Yeah, overall I liked it too because it set up, you know, the whole way that, you know, how Tom was kind of the leader, but then he kind of became the leader, and Tom has that oh shit moment of like what just happened, you know, when he decides everybody, you know, to have everybody become a Mason, and the prison's going to be the lodge and all that, which is really smart on his part.
I had a question.
It felt like my thing. I mean, I there were a couple things that I didn't understand, because in the books, Tom is a Jacobite. He just didn't fight, and that's why he's in prison. In the show, we never find out why he's there in the first place. The governor makes a comment that he's like a more civilized person. And I think that's probably why he doesn't have to do the hard labor, because he's like, the governor views him as like a step above these like Jacobite, you know, barbarians or whatever. There was that. And then the other piece that bothered me was we got the Jamie being whipped for the tartan twice.
Okay, thank you. That's what I was going to ask, because I was thinking to myself, why did this happen again with Lord John when he was on, or when he was there? And then I'm like, wait a minute. Yeah. Okay, thank you. I was like, did I miss something? Because I feel like this is a rerun. But
I mean, and I don't feel like that, you know, I feel like that could be plausible that he did that twice, you know.
I know, but for the same thing, for the tartan both times.
Yeah.
And it just seemed a little,
They could have used a different reason the second time around.
Yeah.
Because, I mean, that's true in the book, what Tom tells Claire about it being about the tartan. But when they're writing the episode, they could have said, well, we already did that, so let's make it a different whatever. So
I don't know, I just didn't like that old man just be blatant about putting the damn tartan on the guy's chest there. I was just so annoyed with him. Sorry, I know he's a crazy old man, but I still was a crazy
old man. Yeah.
I know it was a deleted scene, but okay, fine. Still.
It was a deleted scene. We're not supposed to really know about that. So maybe that's why they deleted it.
Because they knew 3 seasons from now we're going to do this again.
We don't want anybody to know.
We might need to use the storyline. Yeah. So who knows, you know.
Anyway.
I was gonna say too, when he gets flogged again, and how you see Claire,
I cried.
how it just how it reminds, it's like a callback from season 3 during a reunion, when he tells her, you know, I always saw you when I needed you, and that was definitely a moment that he needed her, and so it was like, whoa.
Because we only see her, this is the 3rd time?
2 or 3. I only saw
it was Culloden, and then he sees her again at Lollybrook. Remember? At Lollybrook. And sees her in the garden or whatever. Yeah.
That's right. And then this
time.
Yeah.
And I think somebody said it on Twitter or something today, that's a testament to not necessarily Jamie manifesting her and bringing her back, but just Claire. That's part of Claire, is her coming to him when he needs her. It's not him pulling her back. It's just that
he's not manifesting her. It's just I know.
Yeah.
So good.
Anyway,
wow, that was great.
As soon as, and then his face when he looks back and she's not there, and he just is like this defeated, you know, your heart just snaps.
Yeah.
I also had a question.
Go ahead, Charlotte.
No, you know when the little James dies and he was like putting the locket into the cairn.
Mm-hmm.
What was the flower around it? Was it lavender or was it something else?
It's probably Heather.
Probably Heather, yeah.
Okay, I was trying to figure out what that was.
I do like that conversation that he had with him earlier about trying to call his Rebecca to his mind, you know, when Tom Christie's telling him to bring God to his mind or whatever. But I just like that conversation and sweet.
Yeah.
I was always shocked they didn't have a full beard. I thought he would have had a full beard, but then I thought, oh yeah, you're right. It was probably just really on the heels of the cave, and then he would have been clean shaven, wasn't he? Right?
Right, because he shaves right before he goes.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
Post Mary McNabb.
Yeah.
Little Mary McNabb.
Don't bring that up. No.
I'm so sorry.
It was pre-Mary McNabb because she shaved him before they got it on.
Yeah.
Mary, lucky lady.
Lucky lady. Whenever anybody asks, which character would you want to be if you were on Outlander?
Mary McNabb.
Mary McNabb.
Yeah. If you can't be Claire, be Mary.
Yeah.
Yeah, can't be Claire. What else? All right.
Okay.
Anyway, we already talked about the Masons.
Now are we back? Are we done with the flashback part? Was there anything else that we needed to talk
Did you
about?
have anything else to talk about the flashback?
I don't think so.
I don't think. I think we covered
No.
And then what do we get? Oh, and then he walks in on her asleep because of the ether.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I'm like,
yeah, nice bookends. Did you notice?
Yeah. But also, she would not be that careless, would she?
I thought she would have to have someone be there to time it. I mean, I don't know. I don't trust Sand.
And you know what's so funny? I just read it for book club today where she's testing it out on Bobby and Lizzie, and she's got this, like, they're timing it. They're like measuring the drops to figure out, like, based on their weight, how much they would do. And I'm like, she would never not have someone there to monitor how long she
was very scientific about it in the book.
Yes. And it just it speaks to what I'm sure we'll spend a lot of time talking about.
Yeah.
But
it just seemed very careless to me. And also having the candles lit and stuff, because isn't that stuff like super flammable?
Right.
Yeah, huh? I wanted to know about there was two, Joan also mentioned it too, that there was two hourglasses. So the little one was for minutes and the other one was based on hour, in like an hour increment? Because I don't know how they measure. I don't know how they do that.
I saw that, but I didn't really catch it as far as time.
Yeah. But again, that's not, I feel like that's like a throwaway, like that's how they're going to explain why she was, again, it just.
Yeah. I think she needed another person to document. That was just like, it just kills me.
Yeah. It
I can accept the last scene in the episode more than I can accept that scene.
Yeah. Exactly. I feel the same way. But again, we'll get there.
Yeah.
Yes, Mary, it is.
Yeah, I knew that. Yes, Joan, that's how long she knew she was asleep, but I don't know exactly she said it was 3 to 4 minutes.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
So I don't know.
But that little hourglassy thing, I don't know.
Time thing is. It was super cute.
Again, but whatever, it's fine. I'm gonna nitpick and be like, it's not like an hourglass is not like a
this is what it's for.
No,
it's not. Yeah, it keeps going. Sand keeps going. I don't get it.
Right, and so if it's a 5-minute
and
hourglass, how many hourglasses does she have, and at what increments, and how is she? It's fine.
They have clocks at River Run. Why wouldn't they have a clock at Fraser's Ridge?
Come on, Auntie Joe, supply, man.
I mean, Jamie lives like a king.
I mean, they have an astrolabian.
That's
have
according to that house.
That freaking house.
Yeah, that house. Oh my God.
Mansion.
And all that glass. Does anyone else want to know how they have so much damn glass that didn't break on the way to the ridge? Anyone else notice that?
Chandeliers.
I mean, it's all beautiful, like the
velvet wallpaper.
Oh, God. Yeah, it's
the chandelier. Yeah,
it's pretty.
Yeah, Joan, who made her the mask?
it's pretty ornate. It's pretty crazy how ornate it is. But you know, it's Outlander. I mean, they're gonna go all out and stuff. But anyway, I just want to nitpick about one thing.
One thing.
Just the one.
One thing. So I know that they film out of order, and sometimes they will go back and film a little, you know, they call it the second unit, when they go back and they'll say, oh, we need to film this little thing because we got to, you know, mix it in with what's happening back over here. So when they leave, two parts. When they leave to go see Marcelly, does anybody notice how long Jamie's ponytail is? Because he turns his head and you can see it like swinging back there. And I'm like, damn, his hair is really long. But then the other part is when they come back, and her hair is, I mean, it's pinned up, but it's like all down in the back. And not in those braids. But then when she walks in, and when they left, and when they walk in, it's all in that braid again.
Yeah. Oh my God, I didn't pay attention.
Those are the little things that I notice that bother me. The wigs don't bother me, but it's little continuity. It's the continuity and the inconsistencies that I notice.
Don't they have people for that? I thought they had continuity.
Well, and clearly they know that like some people in this fandom pay a lot of attention to the wigs. So like,
over and over again. Yes. But I love the no bangs on the Beardsley twins. I was like, yes.
Mm-hmm. Thank God.
The Beardsley twins are definitely glowed up.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah. Very cute.
I have to say, I didn't notice that. I did notice that the scene when they're kissing and talking about freezing time for 100 years or whatever, and you see his like ratty ponytail. It's so thin and uneven, and I'm like, really? You can't give him like a better, like, it
Tracy.
Anyway.
Oh.
This is the Seattle glass.
That's the glass I
That's
stole
so cute.
That you what? I'm sorry, what?
From the restaurant.
I did too. We did, so I have a set. And it's the best.
I'm a kleptomaniac. Anyway, also Roger needs to learn to do a background check before he decides to say welcome to the Ridge.
Which we don't get any of that in the show. In the show, it's like they're having a conversation, they offer him some food,
and he dusts off the table.
Yeah. You're led to believe that not much time goes by between when Tom arrives and when Claire and Jamie come back. And yet Roger has had the time to offer him like a permanent residency on the Ridge.
A little rushed, yeah.
And Jamie's like
that eye cut was hilarious.
That's my favorite close up. Yeah.
Oh my God, that's such a highly memed look.
Yes.
So that's what someone else in the comments is talking about, and I was talking with my mom who watches the show, and she's like, and Roger's voice all of a sudden is completely healed. And I said, well, yes, but I think, what are they going to do? Have Richard Rankin talk in a raspy voice for the rest of the series? Because it takes him a very long time to see any kind of progress. So
we had time to gain some weight too. So
I think they'll probably they'll probably show that he's recovering in him trying to sing, you know?
That way,
But I don't think, I wasn't that bothered that his voice was normal, his speaking voice.
Yeah.
But
to be honest, I didn't even think about it.
Yeah.
I was so caught up with, what are you doing? Don't let the Christies stay here.
Yeah.
But you know what? I know a lot of people are saying, well, all the Arsmermen were invited. And then of course Jamie addressed it, so that was good. But I was just thinking to myself, oh my God, what is he? You know, I think that in the book there was time. He had a little bit of time.
Well, right? That's when Jamie was healing from the snake bite. He was like out of commission for the time being, which is why Roger kind of stepped up and was.
Yeah, he was basically dying. And Roger has him sign. He's like so proud of himself that he handled this all by himself. And he drew up the paperwork and
the son of my
so
house,
satisfied with the terms and all of this. Like he's so like, I could do this all day. And then oops.
Yeah.
So good.
Fail.
And this time it was like basic. Oh, you're an Artsmere man. Cool. Welcome.
Yeah, welcome.
Come on, man.
All the Artsmere men are welcome to stay at the Ridge.
I wonder where Tom has been all of this time.
Oh, I'm sure we'll find out
Well,
later.
I think they were in Scotland because they came over on a boat, and that's where Amy McCollum's husband died on the boat over.
Yeah.
Did anybody notice that? Oh, I'm sorry, I didn't interrupt you.
No, I was just gonna say, which was completely different from the book, because in the book he dies. They're already on the ridge, and he dies while he's building the cabin.
Yeah, he basically built it as almost like a very rudimentary, and
like
then he slips.
Yeah.
He slips and falls, but not building. I think they were kind of up on like a hill, because Roger almost falls too.
Yeah,
in the book, and he
What were you gonna say, Charlotte?
Oh, it was weird. I noticed in the beginning when he walks in on Claire when she was testing the ether, that he was calling her Claire. But I noticed that he called her Claire more than he ever called her before. I know he was worried, but I was like, oh, he doesn't call her Sessanak as much in this episode.
He always calls her Claire when he's scared.
Yeah.
Oh yeah, that's a good point.
And that's definitely a show thing too, because in the book you almost never ever see Claire. And,
unless when
he rarely to the point where when he does use it, Claire has an internal thought of like, oh, he never calls me that, or he says to himself, I never call her that.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Okay.
He would have been transported. Yeah, I don't know.
Cheryl, that's a really good point.
Maybe he was already in America and he welcomed the other fisher folk, and then they went from wherever he was to Fraser's Ridge.
Or served his indenture, like his terms were done and he was able to do whatever. Yeah, who knows?
So Carrie Gate 34 mentioned Bobby Higgins, and I was actually thinking about that too, because how Claire recreates the ether, but Bobby Higgins was supposed to bring the ingredients or something, and then I wonder if they're going to introduce him in another time.
I mean, it seems like they would have to, because he's like a major character.
Yeah.
Oh,
I don't know how they're going to do that.
And I'm trying to think, like, it's, sometimes they'll like to combine characters,
I feel like there's loopholes that they could get away with not having him.
Well, except for the fact of,
I don't want to give up.
See, Yeah.
Don't want to spoil it.
Turn the brakes off. Yeah, a little bit.
All right, let's talk about what an angel would do.
Oh yeah, I have an issue on that one.
Go for it.
An issue would not be grinding its belly button. She was a little high.
She was a little high.
She was grinding.
We need to get the measurements.
Yeah, I mean, I was looking at that. I'm like, she's a little lower. Yeah.
So basically what you're saying is they were in the wrong position to do what they were doing.
Yes. Yeah. An angel.
I also feel like the angle they used hid what tiny of a bump she would have at that point, because there was at one point her arm was covering like the front of like where you would see her stomach.
She had like the sheets. Yeah.
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
But they had I shared it in one of the chats, I think both of them, but so Katrina has had two body doubles. One has been kind of like since the beginning, and then one I think was seasons 4, 5, 6. And for a while,
Cheryl,
I think
he just wanted the tip.
I think this one that's there now has been there since season 3.
Oh.
But there was also another one for season 3. So I think she had two.
So the one that I shared with you, who had announced, she had announced back when Katrina announced that she had the baby. Mm-hmm. She was like, now I can finally say why I've been brought on like permanently. And then she posted a video this week where she changed her profile to, it
4,
said
5,
Katrina's double, it said 4, 5, and then she added 6.
Oh, okay.
So, and she's in the credits for this past episode. So I don't know. It didn't seem like that. I mean, you could see Katrina's face the whole time. So
I don't think she was used in this scene.
Yeah, but she might have been in some
the body double. No.
Yeah.
Also, I'm gonna say, I did notice that Jamie Sam, when he takes off her shift, He did not look down at her boobs or touch her boobs once.
Or suck her boobs.
Nothing. He took her shift off
He
and
did it.
never acknowledged her boobs at all.
And they were fuller.
Yeah, that's why he probably didn't do anything to him. The stuff will come out.
Yeah. How was that for you, Kate? Nice fullness.
Not necessarily.
Not necessarily, but sometimes.
Sometimes that happens before you've given birth.
You got 6 weeks left. It hasn't happened yet.
Interesting.
No demos, okay? No demos.
Yeah, I don't think she had a body there either. No, not for that scene.
And I don't know. I'm not convinced that the intimacy coordinator is there for Sam and Katrina so much as Sam and maybe the body double, and then other
characters.
Younger. Yes,
I think next week you're going to see why there's an intimacy coordinator.
Yes.
For 602.
I can't wait for it.
I cannot wait.
Wait, go back. What happened? What'd you say?
I said, okay, so the intimacy coordinator that they brought on, Sam has said they brought it on for the younger cast. So if you've read the books, read the books, you know what they've previewed coming next week. So I think that's why.
Mm-hmm.
I don't know.
Good one.
I feel like he's already said, like, I agree with the reasons he wanted to bring her on. Because, like he said, him and Katrina started, they were so much younger and they've grown with each other and are comfortable. But yeah, for people who haven't had to experience those scenes yet, I mean, the same reason that they have, like, people for, like, different war scenes and any battle scenes, it makes sense.
Yeah. I think someone said that a lot of the time when Katrina's riding a horse, it's not always her.
Yeah, it's not.
Mm-hmm. So that could be who, the body double was for. Because there's, in the credits, we were talking about it in the chat, that there's a difference between stand-in and I think photography, picture stand-in or something. We were saying that that's probably like a stand-in would be someone who is off camera, that the other actor who's on camera can react to or have someone to look at. Or if they're lighting a scene and trying to place where the actors are going to go, the stand-ins do that and not the cast. Yes. And that a picture stand-in would be someone who is on camera, but you don't see their face.
Yeah. There's a lot of the horse riding scenes in season 1 when Jamie and Claire are on the horse together. Mm-hmm. You can tell that the girl sitting behind Sam is not Katrina.
Yeah.
So that's one of the body doubles also. And then there was a body double, obviously in season 5, in the running part when she's trying to run away from the...
Cheryl, that's right. That's true.
Those two characters in Love Actually stand-ins for the love scenes.
I don't know what you're
talking about. That was a good one.
You've never seen Love Actually?
No.
It's a classic, man. Okay, I'll see Chitty Chitty Bang Bang. You see Love Actually.
Tracy.
I know. Shame on me. I heard it was horrible, so I never watched it.
It is one of my favorite Christmas movies.
It's so good. It's a good one.
Really?
I know.
Okay. All right. So all of those other movies like Valentine's Day, New Year's Eve, where it was like this like huge ensemble cast and it tells all the different stories and somehow they're all woven together.
Valentine's Day.
Okay.
Yes.
Well, Love Actually was the first one in that genre, and then it kind of created all these other holiday type. Anyway, that's not what we're talking about.
I just couldn't do Keira Knightley's Underbite. I can get over that in a heartbeat. It's no big deal.
I like Keira.
She was so young in that movie.
I know, but
all right.
Good luck. Okay, go ahead. Nitpick. Blah blah blah.
What are we
people are telling you need to watch it, so you need to watch it.
All right, I'll watch it. Jeez.
Christmas time.
Oh yeah, stand-ins. Body doubles.
Yes.
That's where we were at.
Body doubles. Yes. Whenever you see like Claire running and falling over.
Yeah.
Like in episode 512 when she's running away from her captors and she falls on the ground. That's a body double. Mm-hmm. And then of course there was lots of body doubles. Just I don't know. Whenever you don't see their faces and.
Yeah.
Anyway, moving on. Where are we? Okay, then we get to meet Malva.
Oh, Malva.
Someone,
Great casting, by
someone
the way.
on
Love her.
someone on Twitter said that she had Wednesday Addams vibes, like the Addams family. And I was like, oh my gosh, she totally does. Like the obsession with Lucifer and phosphorus and fire, and how she's like got this weird morbid curiosity.
Yeah.
Just put her in some braids and there you go.
But she's cute.
Yeah, she's really cute.
You know?
She's mousy.
She's very like, you know, smiley, like, you know what I mean?
Yeah.
Yeah.
I can't get over how each of the Christies are perfectly casted. I think Malva fits entirely what I read.
Perfect. Me too.
Yes, Farrell. Alan did shut her down ASAP with her first line when she said about how she's heard so much about Jamie Fraser from her father and their time at Ardsmuir. And Alan just was like, "It's so nice to meet you."
Yeah.
Yeah.
It's so interesting to see like the very subtle clues about that family dynamic.
Mm-hmm.
You know, it's like if you even if you don't know where the story is going, you can still pick up on like something about them is not quite right.
Yeah, it's so good.
So good.
They did it good. Such a good job. I was very pleased with that family.
Yeah.
Yes.
Yeah. I mean, honestly, I can't think of a time when I didn't like the casting. So, they always get it right.
Yeah.
Older Willie.
Not with the second. Yeah, second Jamie, second Willie. I'm still not. He's a great actor. I'm still not upset.
He was.
But we don't have to see him again.
Actor. So. I didn't mind him at all because
Hey, Green.
Hi, Green.
Yeah, I think he did a fine job. I think older Willie, it was the way he was constantly like scrunched up. Like
I was like doing that thing with his mouth.
Yeah, like he's like, I'm like, we get it, you're supposed to be a brat, but like take a deep breath. Anyway.
It's like, time to not Jim.
Yes, the love scene kisses were different. I mentioned that when we did our watch party. There was
did y'all see the eye roll? Because
there was a little bit of an eye roll. Yeah, when Claire was kissing his neck and stuff, but
my eyes were also rolling.
Yeah.
That part.
What I didn't appreciate was I felt like they were going, and then just stopped.
Orgasm and stop.
But it didn't even feel like they had an orgasm. It was like they were just getting going, and then they were like, "Okay, we're done."
Well, you can't have any action when you're humping his belly button. That's why I'm pissed about.
Fair. That's totally fair.
Yeah. It always just cracks me up when they both orgasm at the same time, and then it's
every
over.
time.
It's like, that's not quite how it goes, but I get you're pressed for time, so we'll disregard.
Move the story forward.
Yeah.
I mean, they're the Frasers. They just got it down to a science. They're like, okay, we get to this point, we got it.
Yeah.
Yeah, the 60-second boom boom. And when did his pants actually come down?
Yeah, and why
do
we all want to have sex with Jamie Fraser when they're just doing it, they're over in like seconds?
I feel like it does happen a lot like that in the book too. There are some quick times.
But I think
obviously the book has more time, but
yeah, and I think
more time.
In the book the frequency is there, so not everything needs to be this long drawn out. Oh, thanks, Kareen.
Yeah. But they make it aggressive and
belly button orgasms are quicker.
Yeah. Yes, Kim, I agree with you.
Yeah.
Maybe they had gone through the same Outlander we had, and like it just happened real quick.
True. Yeah. Yeah, they've waited so long.
Yeah.
So long.
Maybe he didn't have time. He might not have had pants on. Someone said they were already in bed.
Pump Fraser.
Yeah, you can tell that she definitely there's a part of me that feels really weird discussing Katrina's pregnancy body. Like there's a part of me that feels like that's a line. But yeah, you can tell that she's.
But yes, you can tell.
You can tell she's pregnant.
Yeah.
But we don't need to talk about it.
Like imagine being someone who like everyone's
seen your naked body?
Yes. And now they're like, oh, I can tell. The shade is darker. Oh, wait. They're cherries now.
Darker cherries.
Heck, they're bigger than
Luxardo
cherries.
cherries.
Yeah.
Someone asked if it was her first time since the incident that she and Jamie made love on. Are you talking about the show, or are you talking about the books? Because I think this lady was
definitely not.
Yeah, the books they did it.
But
we don't know at the end.
We don't
on
know.
the safe scene. We weren't sure, right?
Right.
Yeah.
It's not clear. But I think you're meant to assume that yes, they did. But
I'm gonna assume that yes, they did in the safe scene have sex, and that was
and she's not bruised anymore. You can tell like time has passed.
Yeah, like there's been a little bit of time.
Well, now, yes, not in the safe scene.
Well, that's what I mean. No. So I think even if in the safe scene they didn't, you can probably assume that this wasn't their first.
Right. Yeah. No.
We also have, the mansion. So it's been some time.
It's been some time, but it's not been a ton of time because remember, Marcelly was pregnant in 512, and she's still pregnant.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
Oh yeah.
Well, yeah, because in the
her bruises would have.
Claire comes back, and it's been a couple days, and then she goes to see Marcelly and immediately realizes that they need to induce her.
Right.
So
okay.
I would say it's probably been no more than a few weeks. Marcelly is still
she was
pregnant.
just as big. She was
Marcelly's always pregnant.
I'm gonna say a couple of months has gone by from the end of 512 to now.
Really?
I know.
Did they mention how far she was in 512?
I know in the book it's only from the time she gets back from being raped to
it's like 4 days.
It's like 4 days.
Yeah.
But I'm gonna say in the show it's been a couple of months at least.
Okay.
Only because of Claire's healed up from all of her injuries, and the house is mostly done. I mean, the house is done. The new barn is built. I mean, come on. They couldn't have done that in 4 days. So,
yeah.
Or even a couple of weeks, I think.
Yeah, they had all those fences up and everything.
Yeah.
I know.
Yeah.
2 months, someone's saying 2 months.
So Marcelly is on her 11th month of pregnancy.
She's giving birth to elephants.
Yeah.
It just cracks me up that this is the woman who wanted to know from Claire what she could use to not get pregnant because she wanted to enjoy sex with her husband for a little while. And then she's like banging kids out.
Yeah.
Right?
Like bunnies.
Ironic, huh? That oil, whatever, didn't work, clearly.
The oil.
It did work. It was a lubrication.
She wasn't.
Did something. Didn't stop it.
Yeah.
Okay, can we talk about the big house a little bit?
Let's talk about the big house.
Yes.
Yeah.
Listen, I've always, from the first time we saw the big house with this like giant sprawling manicured lawn, I'm like, do they have a John Deere parked out back? Like, how are they maintaining this lawn?
Well, and not
like
only that, but have you seen how many people are out there working
all the time?
All the time. It's like, don't they have their own homes to like take care of?
Yeah, I know. And everything's painted, right? The internal walls all have paint and wallpaper.
And people are milking their goats for them.
In my mind, I always imagined it looking like the yard looking like a forest floor almost, but they've cleared out trees and brush. Like there's still leaves and stuff. Anna, there's a gravel driveway. I pointed that out on Sunday. I'm like, they have a gravel driveway. Where is the gravel coming from? Like it just.
They picked it
up. And the brick floors.
Creative license. I get it.
Yeah. The goats.
Yeah, but Jacosta's not funding his house.
No.
I don't know. It all did the wallpaper, the velvet,
the wallpaper,
the chandeliers.
Yeah. It's like I said before, it's like River Run, only countrified.
Right.
I want to live in the big house. That's all I gotta say. The big mansion.
Yeah.
Their big 1700s house is nicer than my house.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I love the floor though. I'm not gonna lie. I like the floor. I don't know how they
The
have time
brick
to make
floor?
brick. Yeah.
But that
Yeah,
doesn't
I
run all
do.
through the house, does it? Or is that
it's
just
in the
Claire's
surgery, isn't it?
The
in
surgery, and
kitchen?
then I think in their dining area, their kitchen, right?
Yeah.
Because it runs
Okay,
through.
yes,
If you can see
somebody
it.
said it. I was imagining Little House on the Prairie, but bigger. Same. I was imagining
Yes.
the Little House on the Prairie house, but like maybe 3 times this
With
size.
Michael Landon walking out with his big earlobes. Okay, ready for that?
That's Fergus and Marcelly's house.
Yeah.
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 Tiny house for all the children.
The tiny house.
Right,
Although
Charlotte. It doesn't look that much smaller than River Run.
I was
No.
surprised at how big Fergus and Marcelly's cabin was.
Yeah. And how about the stables? The stables look like the size of the stables that were at Castle Leoch.
Yeah.
It's like everyone has time to make their house, but what about their own? Like you said, Nicole, what the hell? Do they help them make their houses too? Their little mini mansions?
And not everybody who shows up has a skill like that. Like the fisher folk, none of them know how to build a house.
Mm-hmm.
Right.
You know,
they will by the next mid season. They'll be like living in little Stepford wives, whatever.
Right.
Homes.
That's
pretty.
That's a good point. Cheryl said, why would you do brick? You can't disinfect it. You can't, like, all the cracks and the nooks and the crannies.
Yeah.
Well, maybe that's
still
the
pretty.
point, because then you just bring in a bucket of water and you just throw it on there and it all goes down.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Can't disinfect it.
Through the cracks. Who knows? I don't know.
Yeah.
Can we talk about what y'all's reaction was to Fergus? We start introducing a different dynamic between Fergus and Marcelly.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
I think with all of us being book readers, obviously have background. I feel like from a show perspective, it's kind of an abrupt change.
It's an abrupt
from season 5. Like
I agree.
But I still feel like it's the same reasons that from the book, that he is feeling like, you know, he couldn't protect his wife. He can't do things like all the rest of the men can do because he's got one hand, and he can't, you know, he's just feeling sorry for himself and whatever.
Yes, Brittany, and his hair is shorter.
Love his hair.
Oh, love his hair.
I actually really liked their dynamics now. I like to see where they're going to take it.
Well, I feel like
we've
gotten so little from them. You know, the most we got from them was season 3.
Yeah.
And so now, I mean, I don't know. I think how he's acting is true to the book. However, if you haven't read the book,
you wouldn't know that.
You wouldn't know.
Well, and I feel like in the book, so the abduction of Claire and everything, she was with Marcelly at the still. And Marcelly was the one that was constantly working the still, obviously because Fergus couldn't do everything one-handed. Mm-hmm. And so that obviously adds that different dynamic, that he feels this guilt because, if I would have been able to be doing that, I could have been there and she wouldn't have been there. Right. But in the show, she was helping Claire in the surgery. Like, she was at the big house. And so it's not necessarily something that I would see him feeling as guilty about, other than his, 8, 9 months, 11-month pregnant wife working at the still that he couldn't work at. So I feel like it does make it, I still, I see where they're taking it and everything and knowing that background. But, I just feel like it felt abrupt. And a lot of things are abrupt in this first episode.
In the book, the reason why Claire is even at the still in the first place is because so Brianna and Roger have come to her with this knowledge that they think Fergus is drinking and that he might be hurting Marcelly. And so she goes to the still to talk to Marcelly about it, and that's when they get attacked. So at least as a book reader, you have that little bit of background knowledge leading into all of this other stuff. Whereas if you've only watched the show, you're like, holy crap, like you understand his reasoning behind it, but there was no progression.
Right.
Yeah.
Right.
Yeah.
There was
no build up.
Flashbacks, exactly.
So you think that the reason that he's drinking and possibly abusing his wife is because he's feeling guilty for not being able to do all the things that he should be able to do with if he had two hands.
Yeah, I mean, I think that's the first part of it. And then after her attack, I think it's just made it worse. Because if he could have worked at the still himself, then Marcelly might not have even have been there.
Right. But I also about the show.
Right.
What about in the show? Because like Linds said, they were in the surgery when the attackers came. Right. So it didn't really have anything to do with the still.
Right.
Yeah, I feel like he could still feel guilty.
Well, they were hunting, right?
There, but I feel like there's not as much room for guilt from the attack and not being there as there was in the book.
Right.
Yeah. And then we get that exchange when he comes into the house and Marcelly sits him down in the kitchen and Lizzie and Josiah are like, you know, she's like, where's Kezzy? You know, two hands are better than one. And I mean, and then Fergus is like, you know.
I know. He's like, what happened? It's like, that's my hand. Yeah. Oh, that's fine for you.
He printed the Rawling stuff by mistake, which in the show is why they take Claire.
Yeah. Yes.
That piece too.
Yeah, I mean, they've changed so much. They've changed a bunch of things.
I can't even keep track. But yeah, I feel like we're not going to, hopefully, and again, this is part of my theory about Claire later, that we'll get more of his like thought process. Right now, we just kind of get him like, woe is me.
Mm-hmm. Well, I know in the book yeah.
But I think that's coming, the conversation that she has with him after the birth. But I think right now it's kind of like, all right, listen, I understand that you feel like you can't do what all the other men have been doing, but that's not new.
Yeah.
He hasn't had a hand since he was what, like 10, 11?
Yeah. No, since he was 16, 17, that happened.
Was he?
Really? I thought he was younger.
He was 10 when Jamie adopted him in Paris. And Jamie lived in the cave for 6 years.
That's good math.
Well, in the show, he just seems so much younger.
He does.
Yeah.
But I'm like, you really think that Jenny wouldn't have helped him, having been married to someone who's an amputee, wouldn't have helped him adapt and figure out how to like be useful?
Right. Yeah, sack up. You know? Sorry.
Yeah, well, so I just feel like
again, the fans should write this.
Yeah.
But I'm curious to see how they're going to do it since they're like crossing over the storylines. But I'm just fascinated. I can't wait to see this going back to Tom Christie and Malva.
Yes.
I'm very intrigued.
I know.
So let's talk about Richard Brown and all that going down with Alan.
Fun fact about him. I didn't know that he was Maggie Smith's son.
Yeah.
I didn't know that.
I was like, that's Professor McGonagall's kid? Oh, I can see it. Yeah.
Yeah. Once you know it, you're like, oh my God, totally.
That's all. I keep wanting to say a line like.
Let's go through this quickly so that we can get to the really good stuff.
Okay.
Richard Brown gives me the creeps.
Mm-hmm. Yes.
He plays that character so well.
Oh my
God.
I just feel like he's creepier. I know we didn't get a lot of them in season 5, but I feel like he's even creepier this time around.
They did a good job at the end of season 5 of really showing that he can be menacing. Like, you know, at the beginning we thought like, oh, okay, Lionel's the one who might fly off the handle and be kind of impulsive, and Richard's going to kind of rein him in.
He's more logical and more thoughtful about stuff.
But I think that's almost scarier, right?
Right?
Scarier.
He's got that methodical, conniving kind of.
Yeah, it's like when he starts to
very
leave
manipulative
and then turns back around and starts to hand Jamie the whip, and Jamie's like, we'll do things my way here, basically, and pulls out his belt. But yeah.
Oh yeah, that was also kind of, I thought that was interesting how they made him a thief right from the get-go, Alan. Just to kind of establish how I think, right? How Tom is with his kids and how forceful he is. I was like,
I mean, what an insecure guy. Oh my God.
Right?
I mean, so insecure and just like,
Yeah.
how do you like my powder horn?
Let me show you my.
I know.
I made
It was
I made the
so
carvings
smarmy.
myself.
So
Yeah.
smarmy.
Yeah.
Well, and I feel like we didn't really get as
really
much
big
of that.
rifle.
We really didn't
What?
get as much of that like build up of Alan in the books, I don't think. Like I feel like most of the time it was Tom or Malva that we were getting dialogue from. And
Right.
we didn't get that much to like he was just kind of in the background. Like some
Right.
we got
You're right.
every now and again.
Until he wasn't, you know.
Mhm.
Yeah, totally.
Yeah.
Uh-huh.
So I like that they're already starting him as okay, so he's a thief, he's somebody we need to worry about.
So Cheryl brings up a
Cheryl.
point. Where did they were
did he
were
steal
they
it?
in Brownsville? Is that where they discussed it? Before they beat
Well,
him?
they
I don't
don't
remember that.
say. They just say that he stole it from, was it Phineas Brown?
The never ending magic corn?
Well,
Sorry,
there's so many Browns, and that's, you know.
Yeah. Who knows?
Yeah, because
the bountiful Browns.
They never say how or where he got it, but
Yeah.
That he was just a liar face about it.
Mhm.
Whatever, Alan.
Mm-hmm.
Comeuppance. But,
But I do love how like when Richard Brown comes up and says hello to them, he greets them and stuff. Claire just immediately like goes and into the house.
Yeah.
She beelines right in. Yeah.
I can't deal with you.
Which I can't say. I mean, I feel like that's a very true reaction. Like, why would you?
Why would you want to be around them
Right.
or associated with them, even taking the chance? Yeah.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
Somebody asked what I'm drinking. I'm drinking a Killian's.
Ooh, Killian's Red?
Sassenach.
Nice.
Yep.
They just look so smelly. Yeah, same.
Yeah.
All of the Browns.
They do.
They look smelly.
I bet they smell like pee.
The thing that makes me
dirt.
sad also is the well-meaning things that Tom Christie says to his kids to try to save their souls. Like their mother is burning in hell and just all the things, all the religious things. Yeah.
Can we talk about his hand for a second?
Yes, I forgot about that part.
So, and all the medical folks that are listening in, I'm sure you guys all thought the same thing. No doctor would offer to work on both hands at the same time. Then you're like, what are you gonna do?
Yeah.
What are you gonna do?
I didn't even think about that.
Yeah, I thought that. I'm like, she's like,
but
well,
I'm
at it. I'll work on your other hand. I'm like,
I didn't think that she meant like right now.
Well, what's the while I'm at it? That's when I when we watched them like what
about when he comes back and she checks on it.
I was gonna say
or when they have their little gathering dinner thing.
Yeah.
So,
I don't know.
I don't know.
That's what I first thought. I'm like, it's like having 2 knee operations. It's like what?
Yeah.
Okay. All right. I'll move forward. I guess I have to get that out in the universe.
That is a good detail to nitpick, though.
Yeah, I would. Yeah, any medical. I'm sure you guys.
Says I would have just offered him a hysterectomy and been done with it.
Yeah, he was on his period.
But I love that whole scene because it's right from the book of him passing out and Jamie staying because he knows that Tom won't faint or bitch and moan if Jamie is there.
It's there,
Yeah.
And I also love Jamie quoting scripture back to him because Tom thinks he's such a heathen and whatever.
Couldn't possibly have that memorized.
No, and so I love it whenever he quotes scripture to Tom Christie.
Someone mentioned he just had one hand cut, but he also has trigger finger on the opposite hand. That's why Claire was offering.
Yeah, that's it. Yeah,
right. And in the book, the reason why he cuts his hand is because he has. Well, it's not trigger finger, but it's the same kind of idea.
It's some weird.
Yeah, it's
similar.
The
tendon
thing.
There's a thickening of the tendon.
Yeah. Well, incidentally, the guy in Love Actually has, if you would have seen that movie. Right? You guys know what I'm talking about, right?
Yeah.
The singer in Love Actually, the older man.
Yeah.
Oh, we actually do read English even.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Anyway.
All right.
So yeah, so
Gotcha.
he was
Yes.
holding the knife with his bad hand and cut his good hand.
Yeah.
Yeah.
He couldn't even hold. If you noticed that he couldn't even hold the wine glass
He was holding it kind of like this.
Yes, thank you, Cheryl. I don't know why I call it trigger finger.
Well,
but yes,
it's so trigger
Disruptions,
finger
contracture, different. Yeah.
Trigger finger is like, so the tendons have a sheath that they go into, and trigger finger is the tendon is thickened and it won't go through the sheath, and so your finger can't stretch. My dad had to have it on both his hands. That's the only reason why I know. And then this is similar.
So did my grandpa, but I guess I got the
it's the
name,
same. It's the same idea that the hands can get stuck, like your fingers can get stuck in a position, but it's a different reason. Yeah.
Yeah.
Okay. Yeah. Sheath is a weird word.
I love sheath. That's a great word.
Well, if you read a lot of romance novels, it probably has.
Oh, I like Shaft.
I like Shaft too.
My son, I had my cock hat sitting in the bathroom, and my son was over. Both of my boys were over yesterday, and they're like, "What's up with the cock hat?"
I'm like, well,
I was like, "Oh, that was a gift from Charlotte."
I like to give cock hats away. Yeah.
What?
Oh, moist. Oh, come on, guys. We got to go there now.
No, I'm ignoring it.
Yeah.
I don't like that word, Joan.
Yeah.
Okay.
Except when it has to do with cake. Otherwise, yeah.
Then we get Claire. Should we go here now?
Let's go here now.
Yeah, let's go here.
Claire has a nightmare.
Yes.
I do, Corinne, thank you. Claire has a nightmare, and in the nightmare, I mean, it's not even just about the rape. It goes way back.
Blackjack, yeah.
Blackjack, Gayless, Dougal. Yeah, it's like her whole life.
All the trauma.
All the stuff.
Yeah.
Just full PTSD from everything.
PTSD, yeah. And she goes downstairs and she decides to get a little relief from some ether. So what do we think about that?
I was shocked initially.
I think a lot of people had very similar responses, which is that no one's trying to say that the idea of self-medicating to deal with trauma is unrealistic. I don't think anyone is saying that. I think the biggest point of contention that most people have is that it doesn't feel like something that Claire Fraser would do.
Right.
And I have to agree, it feels so out of character for someone who, when it comes to medical stuff, is so careful.
Yeah.
And I understand that that's why they're doing it, right? They're trying to say, like, she keeps everything bottled up, that she just can't take it anymore.
Yeah.
But like we talked about before, like, ether is so unstable, and we haven't seen her do anything
like this,
or any way of like monitoring how much she would need to take. And like Cheryl just said, it's not like taking a sleeping pill where it knocks you out for the night. The minute that she's done with it, if that mask falls away, she's gonna wake up. So I don't know.
Well, and I think in the book, whenever she had originally tested the ether, we realized, because when it was on Bobby Higgins, that he had like hallucinations, basically, and seeing things. So it's one of those things that I understand substance abuse, but I feel like this is something different, that it's not going to be the answer to numb her pain.
Right.
And like you said, it's unstable. And I don't think it, like you said, again, it's not that it's out of character, because I understand if something happens traumatic, it can make you do something very out of character. And I get that entirely, which is why I want to see how they play it out. But I think it's just the detail is missing. I just feel like it's so unstable. It wouldn't necessarily be something to actually numb her and help.
Yeah. I think she just needed something immediate at that moment, and that's what she went.
It's just the ether that's the problem.
Yeah,
it's not necessarily her
like
using.
Like we're saying here, no one disagrees. I think that she wouldn't do something to cope. And someone said that post-traumatic stress disorder for her is out of character. And I disagree with that, because if you remember in season 2, she has that like freak out where she has the flashback to the war before she went through the
World War
stones.
II. Yeah.
Can't like cope, you know? So she definitely has had those flashbacks before.
Yeah. Yeah.
But yeah, I feel like because they're telling the Fergus storyline and he's abusing alcohol, they can't have it be alcohol. And someone was like, well, why not laudanum? But I think the ether is just a very easy choice, writing wise.
Right.
That's true.
So,
but then also we all are aware that in the show she was abused by more than one man versus the book. But I mean, I read the article that Tracy posted
from
Diana. Yeah, did you read it? Did you guys get to read it? I read it.
Yeah.
I didn't get a chance to yet.
So when I first watched it, the first time I saw it, it just made me cry.
Yeah.
I was sad for her. And then I thought about it and I was like, okay, this is very out of character for Claire. But then I watched it again, and after talking to several people about it and reading that article with Diana and stuff, I came to the conclusion, and Joan actually brought up a really good point. She messaged me and she said that she felt like, and I kind of felt like this too, that it's totally in character of her because she's so in control all the time. You know, she compartmentalizes all of her things, and you know, she's just always in control. And so she said that a very strong in control person who is suffering will often falsely believe that they can control self-medicating as well, that they can control, or she is in crisis and needs relief, and she knows that ether will give her that relief. And she believes she control it. She believes she can control it until she can't.
But I don't know about you, but the way that this scene played out felt very impulsive to me. Not that she was planning it. So I didn't get the impression that she had any intention of I don't know. I think
it was an impulsive decision when she went to make the tea. She's like, oh,
this
she
is
turns around. It's right there.
Yeah, I mean, I don't think that it was something when she was going downstairs, she thought, oh, I'm going to go use the ether. I think she got down there and was like, oh, hey.
Yeah, I agree.
You know.
Joan thinks the same. Yeah, it's impulsive.
Yeah.
Yeah, Georgina, we know about that candle. We know about
that's
that
the thing. It's like I understand. And Tracy, that's such a good point, that people who like control freaks, like think about how many surgeons abuse pain meds or are alcoholic, because they have that
very dope sicky
God complex a little bit, and they think like that they can handle it and they can't. But I just feel like I guess my concern is maybe less that she did it in episode 1 and more about how it's going to play out, because if this is going to be throughout the entire season, I'll be pissed.
Yeah,
you know,
I mean,
what I'm really
so you didn't read that article, Nicole?
I know that it will be resolved before the season's over.
Yeah. Oh yeah.
Well, yeah, but I mean, does that mean episode 7 or does that mean episode 3? You know, I'm hoping that, because Jamie doesn't sleep well when Claire's not next to him, and we see her knocked out, so now he knows what it looks like when she's asleep because she's using ether.
But he also thinks that she's just doing it for experimental purposes for medical stuff,
right? But if he wakes up in the middle of the night,
if he finds her like later
and finds her like that, sleeping in the surgery, he's going to figure out what she's doing and that it's not.
Yeah, he's not an idiot.
He also smelled the mask too, didn't he?
He did. I feel like eventually he will figure it out, and they'll have a discussion about it or whatever, and it'll all come to a head and whatever. But like I said, I just feel like she's, you know, she thinks she's in control, and she's gonna find out.
And I think that part of it, I totally understand. And I think the whole out of character thing is perfectly in character, like you said.
Yes.
I think the only issue I had with it after like thinking about it so much was just what it was and the fact that it's ether. I just feel like you said, Nicole, it's easy for them to use as writers because this is something they're introducing during the season. Right. So I feel like that's probably one of the main reasons that they used it. But yeah, I don't want to give like my full conclusion until like I see how they make it play out.
Right.
Because they could have other reasons that they did it. Obviously, we're just seeing the very tip, guys.
Well, we know that
can't you picture Jamie confronting her and being like, how is this any different than what Fergus is doing?
Mm-hmm.
And having her have this moment of like, oh, you know, and it like forces her to confront that what she's doing is actually not healthy and that she doesn't have control.
Somebody mentioned him being an Indian agent and him being gone. I'm wondering if that's going to affect that storyline, if he's kind of when he's going off to be the Indian agent, which I'm actually kind of excited about. I'm sure we're all talk about that. But now that this may be something obviously of a concern of his, that I'm wondering if that's going to be like intertwined somehow, or do we still get the humor of the Indian agent situation?
I think
versus the heaviness. Yeah,
because I think that preview we saw where he's like, "I must have you now."
I think that's right after
that experience.
Good point. Yeah.
Yeah.
God, there's so many questions I want to ask, but I don't want to like spoil it for people that haven't seen anything. I'm like, oh, that's okay.
Yeah.
And yeah, a lot of people are saying that they think Jamie is going to be the one to confront Claire, or that this will in turn help her confront Fergus,
right?
And come to a head. Yeah, I agree.
And then they're also going to deal with her pregnancy and her birth.
Mm-hmm.
And that, oh my God, so many juicy storylines. That's why I love 6.
If anybody's looking for the dip article with Diana Gabaldon, it is in my highlighted stories in this little bubble. In this little bubble right here. So go there and just tap, tap, tap your way all the way to the end. That's where it is.
Then we need to do a live where we spoil everything.
Oh my God.
I mean, the only hard part with that is people pop in.
I know.
They don't know what we're talking about, and then they go, "Oh shit."
We need to each have like a sign on, like in front of us that says we are talking about spoilers. So the minute they come on,
we could have like a sticker on our shirts that says it.
Get out.
It just stays there the whole time.
I have a question, totally off topic, but Nicole, did your hair just get super long all of a sudden? Like, what the hell?
No, it just no, it's not long.
It's the wig people.
Right.
The wig people.
The wig.
Oh, is it Claire's wig?
The wig.
Oh.
Yeah.
She's wearing Claire's wig.
Messed hers up just like Jamie and Claire's. Yeah.
I was like, wow, where'd she get all that? Like, you should just do a photo shoot with just your hair in the front for Chris. Oh, that's a nice little thing. Just cover up those cherries. Sorry, it's the whiskey.
Then I need my hair to be longer. My hair's not long
somebody asked, without spoilers, for those who haven't read the book, do you think they chose ether as a means to get to the conclusion at the end of Abosa without pursuing that storyline? Which storyline?
I
don't remember how it ends.
There's another storyline though.
I mean, it plays a part in later books.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
Which I think I would imagine they would do because it's a huge thing.
Yeah.
Anyway, I think we do need to plan like a spoiler
night.
Just a spoiler only night.
Oh my gosh,
spoiler extravaganza.
Yeah.
Like an
We'll call
OnlyFans,
it.
but a spoiler
Let's call
fans.
it spoiler extravaganza. For everybody that's read the books.
Yes.
How it ends.
Okay, let's not say things in the comments though. That's why we're not saying it here.
No.
Because people haven't read the books. So don't say anything that hasn't happened through book 5.
Yeah.
That's why we're talking in code. To be come on.
She's like, come on.
Yeah.
La, 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 la.
Be cool, people.
Just
be
like,
cool.
Be cool, guys.
Stay
Yes,
low,
Joan.
sister. Stay low.
I will let you know, Joan, when we do it, so you can avoid coming to our spoiler event. Does the ether storyline mean? Okay, shh. Shh.
Seriously, if you haven't read the books, I guess the comments just aren't a safe place for you. So just do this.
Yeah.
Just don't read the comments.
Don't read the comments.
Yeah.
Be cool, people.
Yeah.
Be cool. Yes,
So,
spoilers, but not here.
Yeah.
Hashtag redacted.
That's a good one.
Hi, Ava.
Can you say hi?
Hi, Ava.
Oh my God, look how cute she is.
I wish
Hi.
that
Hi.
I wish that Instagram Lives gave you the option to delete comments or edit comments or even comment on comments.
Yeah, Cheryl's people are posting spoilers for the later books.
Yeah, don't post spoilers for the later books.
No.
I don't want to be spoiled.
Oh, John asked about the cock hat you were talking about.
The what?
The cock hat. She goes, "What's a cock hat?" And basically, I just saw a trucker hat with a cock on it, like a rooster, and it says "cock" on it. And I saw it in the airport, and I just got it for Tracy because I know cock's her favorite word. Yeah. So
Cock's
I just
my
got it
favorite
for her.
word. So
yeah, it's a trucker hat. Just
my cock is my favorite word in the Outlander universe.
In the Boozy Book Club,
in the Boozy Book Club world, it's not like my favorite word.
What's your actual favorite word?
We probably should have. All right, so people who tune into book club all the time know Tracy and myself, but is this Charlotte? Am I pointing to the right person?
Oh no, I'm above you.
Charlotte's next.
I think it's different on everyone.
High five.
Charlotte's up above you.
Yeah. And this is Linds.
I'm just a regular fan, no fan account.
Linds is blonde.
Probably have done that from
I'm Linds. This is
Linds has 2 kids with her right now.
Yes,
I do. One's here. One's here.
Yeah. When is baby gonna make an appearance?
April.
We got 6 weeks as of today.
Oh, congratulations.
So the real question is, will the appearance be before the season finale of season 6 or after?
You might be watching the season finale in the hospital.
I already said, like, if I make it to the season finale and get to watch it, I'm sure it'll be emotional. I'm sure it'll be insane. I can just use that as, like, push power to, like, push.
Yeah.
I have one of the nurses hold the phone or the iPad up to you.
Hold it while I'm pushing.
Hold it while you're pushing.
See what's happening.
Yeah, and apparently, according to Sam in some interview, it ends on a cliffhanger.
Yeah,
and
I'm
so
the Gentleman's Journal article. Wasn't it?
I don't know. I haven't read it yet.
And we know this is going to be another long Droughtlander. With it being 16 episodes,
it's going to be another 2-year Droughtlander.
Hey, but can you imagine being those people that actually were there when they just had the books back in the 90s, back in the late 1900s?
I give all the power.
1900s?
Except that when they first got the books, they weren't like, oh, there's a show coming out and we have to wait till 2014.
Yeah, but they had to wait for each book. Can you imagine the agony?
But also, can you imagine?
We're okay with that because we read the books.
Watching season 1 and that scene where he's in the window, take your hands off my wife, that was a mid-season break. So you had to then wait months to find out how that was going to...
it was only like 8 weeks.
Still, that's months. That's 2 months.
I'm okay. I mean, it sucks, but I'm okay with it.
Yeah, do you guys think they'll do that for season 7? Have the mid-season break?
Probably.
With 16 episodes, I would... That's one of my fears, is that they're going to do 8 and 8, and that's how they're going to end the show.
I want them to just release them all at the same time, and so I can just binge it and not watch it week to week. I mean, there's a part of me that wants them to do that, but then there's another part that doesn't, because then we wouldn't do this.
You'd be done in 2 days.
I know, we'd be done in 2 days.
She wouldn't eat, and then she'd be done.
Yeah, I like doing these recaps.
We get the time to pick it apart.
I do like that. Yeah. You know, and watching it. I've watched it 4 times already now, so.
I've just done it 3. I'll have to pick up on that ponytail stuff. I didn't even see that. Or the braid. Oh, is she okay?
Ava's got the sound effects in the corner.
We don't know that season 7 is the end.
No.
We're just...
They're contracted through 7.
They're only contracted through 7, so we're not getting our hopes up that there's going to be an 8, but we're hoping there's going to be an 8.
I'm really crossing my fingers that they at least make it to the 8 to finish there. If they're going in order by book, I'm happy with the ending of book 8 being a...
Can we talk about Jamie's ghost for a second?
Yes.
Oh, yeah. Mention that, please.
Because Kathy Mack blew my mind the other day when she told me that maybe Jamie's ghost wasn't there for Claire, but he was there to haunt Frank. Because Frank has been haunted by Jamie's ghost for 20 years.
Kathy Mack, you're brilliant. You're brilliant.
I was
awesome.
I like
it.
I don't know if I buy it.
Well, Claire didn't see him, and the ghosts are for people. They're the people. So Frank's.
But I don't
think
sense. I don't think it's about Claire or Frank. I think it's about Jamie saying, "I will find you if it takes me 200 years of purgatory and whatever." He says, "I will find you."
Yes.
So that's
Kathy Max was better, I think,
versus the
for funner,
angry ghost haunting Frank.
I mean, I do feel like he was there for Claire, obviously.
You have to be quiet or you have to drop it.
But I feel like after she said that, I was just like, what?
So my sister actually had a good point. She goes, I thought I had my answer. I don't feel as unfulfilled as the rest of you. She goes, that was on that night where all the what's that called? All Hallows Eve or whatever it is, that all the ghosts just roam around.
Samhain.
Yeah, and it's like, they're all there just roaming around. So my sister was telling me, I feel like I'm fulfilled. That's fine. But I'm like, but I don't feel like that's, the gate's open. There's so many questions, so many answers that we need, and I'm not going to rest until I get them.
Somebody needs to break into our, break into Sam's email.
Yeah. Oh my God.
I know. I love how he said that in that one interview. I'm like, everybody's going to be trying to hack into his email now.
Yeah.
Even if it was a joke, everybody's hacking it.
Yeah. Anyway, I just thought that was a really good, alternate thing to think about, because this whole time I've been thinking that he was here for Claire, and, part of me still thinks he is. But at the same time, it's like...
Yeah, I think there's a part of both.
Yeah.
I think...
Because Frank literally was haunted by him for all those years. I mean, he saw him.
Yeah, but not at that point, because he didn't know about it yet.
Well, he didn't know about him, except that when Claire disappeared, he had a broadsheet made up of him.
Yeah.
Right. He saw the ghost, but he didn't know that it was Jamie.
Yeah, he was focused on his brooch.
No, I know. But he was still haunted by the fact that she disappeared, possibly with this man who he saw. And then, when Claire comes back, he's writing to the Reverend to look into this Jamie guy. And, he's...
Ironically, he didn't put 2 and 2 together. You think he would have been like, hey, there was a ghost.
For the whole time that Bree is growing up, he's still researching Jamie Fraser. Yeah.
But I think that's on Frank. I don't think that's Jamie's purpose for being there.
Probably.
I think it's Frank's insecurities and Frank's maybe
he's like, you know what, F this. I'm gonna haunt Jack BJR's descendant.
Can't find BJR.
Boom.
I'm just gonna.
I mean, he may not directly be there to haunt Frank. Obviously, he's there for Claire.
Right.
But Frank
That's
is
actually a good theory, though.
Frank is the one obviously haunted by him.
Yeah.
Yes.
Because Claire didn't see him. Claire doesn't know he's there.
No, she's just brushing her hair.
She's just looking at birds in the window when she goes back.
That's true. She is haunted by him in those.
Mm-hmm. In that, yeah.
Yeah.
She did say that too. When did she say that? Oh, she said it on the cliff.
Mm-hmm.
She said it on the cliff when they're waiting for Ian to get back with the thing. I was haunted by you for I don't remember the exact words, but
that wasn't in the book, was it? I don't remember that being in the book, right?
Where he says we're mated for life, Sassenach. I think that is in the book.
Yeah.
Oh yeah, that, yes.
Yeah, that's in the book, but I don't know. Does she say that she was haunted by him for all those years?
I don't remember. I just remember that, you know, she's talking about should I even be here kind of thing. Anyway.
My theory is that he's going to die in the last book, and then we'll say, wait a minute, I will find you, and it might take 200 years for her to be back in Scotland on Samhain. That's how you pronounce it, Samhain. Him to do so.
Jamie's ghost caused Frank's accident. Well, okay. In the show, we don't get any of this, but in the book, Frank has a heart condition that he's aware of and knows that he's basically on borrowed time anyway. So my theory is he's driving and has a heart attack while he's driving.
You know how dumb I am? I thought he said I had an issue with my heart, and I thought he was talking about emotionally. Until you said that, and I was like, oh, good God. That's why. I can't believe I'm mentioning this now, but yeah, I thought it was, I have a problem with my heart. Like, I have an emotional thing I want to share with you, Reg.
I mean, he had that too.
And that makes sense because if he were to get in a car accident and then she goes to see him in the morgue, you would think that he would have blood on him somewhere from like a head injury or something, and he didn't. So it makes sense that he would have had a heart attack. And I mean, he probably didn't even, he could have just gone off the side of the road or whatever, who knows. But yeah, that makes more sense. But they don't explain that in the show.
No, in the show, you're like, he looks perfectly fine. There's no blood.
Yeah.
How did he die?
He doesn't look gray or anything.
Right.
He doesn't look like he had
sleeping.
Yeah.
I'm just going to keep drinking.
That's always.
I'm done drinking. I finished my drinks.
Mine's almost gone. Your drinks. I finished my
Me
drink.
too. I'm almost done with my drinks.
All right, they're all gone.
Yeah. Just a little left.
Yeah.
This was fun.
Anyway, yeah, that's all I got.
Yeah.
I feel more, I feel like I'm more knowledgeable about this whole episode, and I feel
I mean, I feel a little better about her whole self-medicating thing. I'm not thrilled with the fact that she used ether necessarily, because I felt like, again,
I think that's the biggest issue.
It was fairly careless, you know. It was just very careless, but I get it.
Yeah. I think you're again, like you said, I think the biggest hang up for a lot of people is that it feels so out of character, but because she's dealing with the trauma of what just happened, and we're almost led to believe that because of her dream, that what just happened to her is dredging up everything else that's happened to her.
I mean, the woman has been through some shit.
Right. And so I think she probably has never really addressed it. It's always like just leaving Jamie, she just kind of shoved it down and didn't ever really.
Yeah.
She's carried a lot of stuff with
She didn't even cry when she went to his gravestone when back in the 50s.
So I think I think it makes sense for her to think of something to help her get through it. But yeah, I think everyone's kind of just bumping up against the fact that it's ether. So like I said, I think I need to know how they're going to, I don't want it to be like a derailing storyline for her, because there's so much other stuff that happens to her in book 6.
Yeah. I mean, yeah, she could have easily had used the laudanum instead. You know,
she knows better, but she knows better.
That would have made a little more sense.
But she would have done that a long time ago then. You know what I mean?
Well, she could have, but I don't feel like it. I don't feel
there's
like
no need for it for her to do it. Yeah, I agree.
I'm just very interested to see where they take it and how they use it to connect to other storylines.
Yes.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I think it makes sense, man. Use it. I think the parallels between her and Fergus are going to be important.
Yeah.
I just can't wait for Fergus and Marsley next week. I just can't wait.
Oh my god! I actually waiting for young Ian too.
Good. This recap next week gonna be fire.
Yeah, baby. All right. Nice. Well, that's all I can think of.
I got nothing. She's going.
I got nothing.
Well, you'll see the two of us. Am I up top still? You'll see the
No.
two of us. Two of us.
Wait,
Me.
where are you, Nicole, on your screen?
I'm right next to Tracy on mine.
Really, that's funny. I'm next to Tracy.
I'm on top of you on mine, Nicole.
That's
You're
so
on top.
weird.
I'm on top.
Weird. So maybe
Linds is
this
on-
puts whoever.
I'm on top of Nicole, and Tracy's
I'm
on top of Linds.
I'm on top of Linds, and,
We're
and
all
Charlotte,
just on top
Charlotte
of
is
each other.
next to me.
Yeah.
Well, Tracy and
Me?
I will be with Maria tomorrow talking
On
about
Boozy
chapters 38 through 43. Is that what it was? I just finished it today. I think that's what it is.
I haven't read it yet.
I never read it. I just go for the fun.
I just did get my Kindle loaded back on my phone, so
I mean, I've read it.
I'm gonna read
before.
right after this.
Sure you are.
I'm waiting for your notes.
Well, my husband's leaving for 5 days, so I have to.
Oh,
You have
all
to
right.
what?
Charlotte's got to go.
Oh, Charlotte's
Do
gotta
stuff.
go. All right.
Just kidding. Sorry, Cream.
That's as good a reason as any.
Yeah, that's a good one. Yeah. Thanks, guys. Thanks for having
My
me on here.
husband's not home, unfortunately.
You don't need to be. Okay.
Hey, Ava.
You don't need to be, but I like
Yeah.
it better with a man.
That's true.
Do you want to tell everybody good night?
Good night,
night, Miss Ava.
Bye.
Who is on your dress? Rapunzel. I thought
That looks like
so.
Marcelly
Oh,
on
yeah.
Outlander.
Marcelly. Yeah.
By
All
the
right,
way, guys,
everybody.
Ava watched the second half of the episode with me on Sunday.
I know.
We made it past the PG.
Rated
Those
R.
weren't even yeah, those are rated.
Yeah.
We
That
made
was
it past
yeah.
those parts before she watched.
Yeah.
The
Belly
love
button sex
was
is okay.
was so like you said PG that it wouldn't even have mattered. She probably wouldn't have known what was happening.
Yeah.
Thank you.
Mommy, why is she sitting on his belly button?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Exactly.
Yeah, seriously.
That's
All right,
funny.
everybody. Thanks for joining us.
Thanks for having us.
Thanks,
See you next
guys.
Bye,
week.
friends.
See ya.
Bye,
See you
ladies.
tomorrow.
All right.
Bye.